Welcome to DFS Insights. I'm David Geislinger, and I'm joined by my cousin, David Grant Jr. The teams up on the block are the Miami Heat at the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's go ahead and get straight into this single game slate breakdown.
Yes, sir. I was getting a little excited there. This is where each of us will be giving you our three players to focus on while creating your lineups. Sometimes we might have the same core guys that we like, and sometimes we will not. David and I will give you a quick breakdown of what we like about those three main plays, and stay tuned to the end where each of us will be providing you with one full free lineup. So, with that, we got Miami against the Lakers here. How we feeling about that, David?
As big Laker fan that I am. No, that's being said. I'm a huge Kings fan, if you haven't noticed by the hat. I love breaking down these Lakers games because, the guy first up, I'm going to start my first set of three I'm going to talk about is Anthony Davis, who is, I think, a permanent game time decision. I can predict for the next probably 30 games of the season he will be game time decision. Always. So that's the most nervous thing about breaking down a Lakers game is between him and LeBron. But Anthony Davis has been putting up some crazy numbers. He doesn't seem to be as inconsistent as he has in the past, where it was huge game, floor game, ceiling game, floor game. So he's looking right now. Previous against Minnesota, he put up 81, and he's averaging, I'd say, anywhere between low 50s to about 60 if I had to put an average on it. So coming in at 16.5, he needs to put up those numbers, at least in my lineup. So he's going to be the first player with potentially LeBron as a game time decision. If obviously LeBron can't go, which he's maybe has some kryptonite against Miami for who knows why. Obviously, Anthony Davis' value goes way up from there. Do I think he'll be highly owned in, the MVP star slot? Absolutely, but he's going to get you the points there. Moving on to, my second of my three picks, I'm going to move down here to Jamie Jaquez. Sorry if I absolutely butchered that. But I don't know too much about him. I'm typically tend to kind of solely focus on West Coast teams. As being on the West Coast, I typically follow that a lot. But this guy kind of caught my eye just looking at his salary wise, and he's been putting up some pretty good numbers. And with the Heat has a few injuries, Highsmith and Butler being out, his numbers are pretty good, sitting, low 30s, 32, about 33 the last 3 out of 5 games. What piqued my interest here is this 39-minute game. He put up, 50. So he does have high potential, a high ceiling. And maybe a lot of people are just kind of looking, maybe see this 9-7, and he also kind of does have a floor. So, if he can just give me, those one of his average games, 33 points, I think that would be pretty nice. And then obviously if he hits his ceiling, that's even better. And like I said, with the injuries to Highsmith and Butler, I believe his usage has gone up quite a bit. He's getting about 20% usage, 19.73 roughly. So, that's pretty decent usage when he is in. So I have a feeling that he will do decent against the Lakers. Last up on my third person would be Austin Reeves, where I wasn't really, looking at him too much. However, with the injuries to a few players, I believe D'Angelo Russell is doubtful for this game. Obviously, with NBA, you literally are keyed in on every single breaking news update up until lock. And even then, even tip off. You're paying attention to any kind of news that comes up. Someone, could roll their ankle in, shoot arounds. So obviously with D'Angelo Russell being out, doubtful, Hachimura out, Gabe Vincent, out, Austin Reeves going to get the minutes. He did get 36 minutes, and he did capitalize highly on that, getting about 42 fantasy points last game. He did only get about 10 the previous game before that, 29 minutes, and he's kind of hovering around that upper to mid, 20-minute range. But I think, like I said, with mainly D'Angelo Russell injury, which is basically who's probably been stealing most of his minutes, with him doubtful, obviously his usage will, definitely peak there. And currently right now, he's sitting at about a 25% usage. So I definitely see him having a decent game there. So how do you see this breaking down for you?
Yeah. Quick point. Man, I just realized this was the matchup when these two teams played in the bubble in, I believe, 2021. Game 5 of that, I actually took first place and won $20,000. I took first out of 2,139 people. I did $255 entries. I actually took first and all by myself, and then in my other entry tied for second with 2 people. And I just so happened to put that optimal lineup in like 3 other tournaments and took down about $30,000 in this same matchup. Obviously different players, and LeBron's aged a little bit, but yeah. So this is always an exciting matchup for me. The player that I told myself I was getting his jersey tattooed, which I still haven't, but was Duncan Robinson was my play on there. And I had moved him up to the pro spot, and he was only 3% owned there, and he ended up having a made, one of his crazy like 7 3-pointers made type of game. And he's been doing that this year, and they've seemed to be riddled with injuries, but with this game, with Jimmy Butler out, with Caleb Martin basically out, I mean, Josh Richardson, it seems like he's also going to be out. I mean, these are their scores. So, he's going to be highly involved in my lineups for sure. I am going to kind of back it up just a little bit. I am starting with AD though, kind of like you did, at 16.5. With the Lakers, they're also riddled by injuries, and it says he's probable, so he's going to play. LeBron's actually questionable. He's been questionable a couple of times and played. I do think, at least it's at a home game, so I do think he'll end up playing, especially with some other injuries. But I could see him maybe not getting as many minutes. He just typically doesn't seem to play a lot of minutes against Miami, unless it's in the playoffs. But man, yeah, Davis, it's going to be a Anthony Davis type game. And at 16.5, we are going to need him to get that high, 58, 59, low 60s, and above for him to be optimal. So he is my number. He's number 1. Number 2 is Bam Adebayo. Again, with all these injuries going up with Miami, they're actually they're also missing. Again, a lot of like small forward, power forward combo type guys. A lot of times they do go small. Bam's been crushing it lately. Man, his ceiling is even better than 65. I mean, he recently hit 65 fantasy points against Utah. And I think, with Caleb Martin, it looks like he's not going to be playing either. He's doubtful. So as much as I think that Kevin Love, at 8,500, I'll be playing him, but this leads me to my third pick, which is going to be, it's actually going to be not Duncan Robinson, but Mr. Orlando Robinson at center. He's at 6,500. Now, as you look at the game log, it's going to be a little scary because you see the zeros, but if you scroll down, and you see this guy get minutes, alls I need is 20 minutes. I mean, even 15 minutes from this guy. If he gets me 20 minutes or above, his fantasy point per minute, I've seen this guy just he is high risk, high reward. But if he does get some of those minutes with with uh, with with Kevin Love being older and whatnot, I don't see Kevin Love's minutes really being extended. I see it going to someone, someone younger like Orlando or possibly Jovic. But again, not to get too off track. But so my three plays are going to be Anthony Davis number one, Bam number two, Orlando Robinson number three. I tried to kind of spread it out as much as I can. Again, a lot of this is predicated on all of this injury news coming out. The Heat team leaders, just also real quick, Bam Adebayo is the team leader, averaging 22 points, 10 boards, a steal on 50% shooting. So Jimmy Butler is number two at 21 points a game, 37% from three. And then Jamie Jaquez is actually number three right now. And again, they're going to be missing Jimmy Butler, so that's huge. And then Duncan Robinson is their fourth at 14 points a game on 47% field goal and 44% three-point shooting. So he's just crushing it from behind the arc. If he gets hot quick, and I mean, I'm telling you, the Lakers do not defend the three. They don't play defense. I could see Duncan Robinson outdoing someone like Tyler Hero, who will be more chalky, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, sorry to go off on a little bit of a tangent there, but Bam, 100%, definitely AD. And then again, my other pick will be, I'm gonna take the risk with the other Robinson as my top three plays here.
Yeah, no, I like him. I think that's pretty good. Vegas does have Lakers favored by 5 points in this.
Right.
So yeah, with the over under about 226.5. So about a 115 to 110 game, 115.5 to a 110.5 game, roughly around there. So pace seems pretty good. I think it's going to be decent scoring, and like you said, it's NBA DFS. Pay attention to the news. Anything and everything always happens right at lock. So pay attention. Yeah. With that, we'll go ahead and cut this, end it here, and give you guys the lineups here up on the screen. You have mine, David Geislinger lineup. You also have cousin David Grant Jr.'s lineup. Please, in the comments below, let us know what you think. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss these NBA breakdowns. We'll be doing quite a bit of these, as these are shorter than our NFL breakdowns. And as the NFL season is wrapping up here to the playoffs, we're be covering 1 to 2 games there, and also trying to get as much NBA in the funnel as we can. So good luck out there, and David, I'll let you end it.
Yeah. Hey, good luck to everyone out there. We're trying to build the DF Insights community. We usually have a free contest down in the subscription. I'm gonna keep your eye out for that for the NBA. If we can get the NBA up one, we will. But we're still piecing some of that together. And again, which definitely enter both of these lineups, and these are tournament lineups. The single game here is a lot better than the NFL. I like the MVP, the star, and the pro with the 2 flex, because having 3 multipliers, when you zero out your salary, you can play a lot with moving just people around, and the ownership really making a big difference here. So big time different type of strategy. I'd love to talk to anybody about what your game theory is, and all that type of fun stuff. So yeah, let us know down in the comments, what type of lineups you guys will be putting in, and look forward to covering the NBA the rest of the season. So good luck to everybody.